Recording's begun. And so has this. All right, here we go. We begin the festivities in exactly 3, 2, 1.
Now picture that.
That's the wrong place. Hold on. Let's move that over there. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
If the computerized life occasionally extracts its pound of flesh, it holds out some interesting rewards.
We'll miss your ugly face around here.
Now picture that, but everywhere. This is the morning stream.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to TMS. It's June 1st, and it's 2020. It is the first of the month. You have no excuses. It's the first. I don't know what that means. You have all the excuses.
No excuses.
Yeah, you have no excuse to not enjoy June, to have June. June is here. It's here.
Right.
It feels like May lasted a lifetime and also was over in 5 minutes. So don't know what that was about. I'm Scott Johnson here with Brian Ibbett. Good morning, Brian.
Hello.
How are you?
Happy June 1st to you.
Sure. There have been better weeks coming off of better weeks.
Yeah.
This is a gnarly week here in the United States. For those
No
of us,
doubt.
For those of our friends who are overseas, I'm sure you witnessed most of this via your various press outlets. But we had a lot going on. Still going on. It's not really done yet.
What's going on?
Yeah. One would assume that hopefully things de-escalate. Hopefully some things change fundamentally in our justice system. There's a few things going on we'd like to see. And, of course, COVID-19 still sort of hanging around and not really, doesn't really care what we're doing. So
No, exactly. It's like, you can do that now, too? Guess what? I don't care. I'm
500 people 500 people in a crowd. All right, cool. I'm here for you.
I'm still going to do what I do. You guys go on ahead with what you want to do there. But
yeah, it doesn't care.
COVID going to spread like COVID going to spread. Speaking of which,
yeah.
It feels like I'm hesitant to talk about this because I feel like it's like I was bad. Like I was a bad boy.
Like you were
Scott.
bad? Okay. All right. I want to hear this.
Yeah.
What happened?
So, Tina and I were out in the east part of town, and coming home, we decided, all right, well, it's Friday night. Let's get some takeout. It's kind of late. We don't have time to go home and cook, so let's grab something. And we're kind of driving through this retail area that used to be the old Denver airport, but they've redone it with all sorts of lofts and expensive apartments and then a bunch of shops like a Buffalo Wild Wings and a Smash Burger and stuff like that. And we're kind of driving around saying, all right, what do we want for takeout? What sounds good? And we're kind of, could you do that? I don't feel like doing that. And that won't keep until we get home. And that doesn't sound good. Or this place looks really busy.
Yeah.
And we round the corner and we find a Famous Dave's barbecue.
Oh yeah, we have Famous Dave's. They're good.
Yeah, the national chain. We're thinking, that sounds really good. And then the big sign on the front says, now open for inside dining.
Oh, you're like, hey.
Because as of Wednesday last week, restaurants in Denver County are now able to have inside dining as long as they follow a long list of protocols. Number one, you can't have two tables right next to each other with people. Everybody has to wear a mask. Patrons have to wear a mask until their food is served. A whole long list of things.
Sure.
One use packets of salt and pepper and ketchup and things like that. No reusable menus. It's got to be paper menus, or they have to have a menu that you can look at on their on your phone.
Oh.
And order from.
Yeah, that makes sense. That might
which
be a good way
all
to
of it
do
makes sense.
Yeah.
And so Tina like, well, what do you think? And kind of I put this on Tina because she's the one with the compromised immune system.
Of course.
And so I say, well, what do you want to do? She's like, well, let's go in, look at it, and if we feel anything hinky about it, we'll leave and we'll just get takeout somewhere. We'll go home and we'll eat. And I'm like, totally fine with me. We just gotta at some point we gotta pull this Band-Aid off. So we go in, we look around. It's like, all right, there's a few customers, a few tables with people at it, but it's a very open floor layout, and everything looks clean. The people greeting us at the door, not only wearing masks and whatnot, but also looking really, really happy to finally be working and finally be serving people and
Sure.
and having customers and things like that.
Yeah.
So we're like, all right, yeah, two for dinner. Like, okay, and they take us to a table, and what can we get you? And bring us drinks. We got our masks on, but we kind of lift them
Yep.
up to drink and put them back down. And the whole time, it just feels like we're breaking rules, like we're being bad, like we're doing something we're not supposed to be doing. And I think everybody's going to experience this the first time they go back to a restaurant after this whole thing, after social distancing and after all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying COVID's not still going on. Obviously, it's still going on, but
Right.
but there is this weird, like, I'm breaking a rule. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like you're being a rebel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We were going to do the same thing this weekend at an outdoor. They have an outdoor area, but I'll get into why we didn't in a minute. But how was the food? Like, did you feel like you were? Was it like, whoa, this is as good as this barbecue's ever been because they're making it extra special for these people that are braving it?
I mean, it was good barbecue, and I think the barbecue was fine. It's not my favorite barbecue place in Denver, but the other one that we would have gone to was a lot further. Very inconvenient. So, but it was fine. The food was fine.
Yeah.
It's funny. Leninade 2020 says, Coverville, this surprises me hugely. I would have thought you would wait months and months before going to a restaurant. I guess you'll be first day at a movie theater too. I'm adding the inflection, but
yeah. I mean, you're gonna get different responses from different people, but
exactly.
yeah.
Believe me, I think out of the two of us, between Scott and I, and certainly even in my kind of group of friends, I'd be the one who would not jump off the cliff first, but would do a little research and make sure that the quarry was deep at the point where deep enough where the water was deep enough at the point where I jump in, and and then I might be the person to jump. But I'm not. I mean, I'm a cautious person, but I'm also a thoroughly thoughtful. Not thoughtful. I am thoughtful, but I mean, I don't jump into things without a little bit of research and a little bit of common sense. Does that make sense?
I get it. I totally get it. You're not what's the word? You're not just throwing caution to the wind, but you're
right, exactly.
willing to take you're willing to take what information you have, do your equations in your head and then make your decision. I think that's great. That's what that's what most people should do and probably do, but but I do. In my case, so all right, we had this plan Saturday to meet up with Corinne and Jason.
Right.
And have tacos outside at a place that lets you do it outside. I'm not even sure they're open to internal seatings. Maybe they are, but they do the outside thing, and they got all the rules and everything. But we did our homework, and we thought, all right, this seems like a good, we're gonna poke our heads in there and see what's up. So we're getting ready to do that, and about an hour before that happened, or before we were to leave, I started getting blips on my phone and hearing stuff on the internet and seeing that, in true apocalyptic fashion, Salt Lake City, of all places, has people flipping cars over and setting them on fire. And
Salt Lake City, which seems like the weirdest.
Yeah, the generally speaking, the stereotypes are not incorrect. We're a pretty quiet, chill place. We don't really get too worked up about much. So when that started happening, I went, ooh, okay, that's weird. And then I started looking into it a little bit more. And it wasn't that we were going to meet in Holiday, which is not downtown. So it wasn't that big a deal, that part of it. The part I was worried about is it looked like it was starting to encroach pretty close to where my daughter lives. And that afternoon, her and I had just done that final art class for May. And, thought everything was done and good. And, hey, we'll talk to you later. Okay, cool. Then we started hearing on the news that, that car, the police car that got flipped and set on fire, and now there's some dude with a bow and arrow, which I'll get to in a second, All of this is happening about a block from where she lives, and she calls me and she's like, yeah, I can hear the sirens are getting louder, and I can see people kind of milling around down below all over the streets and stuff, and so it's starting to get a little nuts. And the National Guard was starting to come in. The governor, had he was bringing everything to bear basically, and the protesters were getting larger in numbers. They were getting a little more. Some of them were getting a little more destructive. And so we started thinking, crap, do I go to dinner with them and try to pretend this isn't happening, or do I figure out a way to extract my children from the metro area of downtown Salt Lake City? And Nick was
of mayhem.
Exactly. Nick was still at work, but he only lives 3 blocks north of Carter in the same area. And so I thought, well, all right, what are we going to do? So we bounced around some options. One option was Kim and I were going to go out there in the car and get her and see if we could find a route that didn't get blocked off streets and all that. But then the timing of Nick getting off work was perfect for him going straight to her, grabbing her, and then coming here. So that's what we did. And they barely got out of there. Like, the curfew had just been set. The roads were blocked. Many of them, the major throughways were. So he had to find like a little squeezy, sneezy way through there. I don't know if they got lost or what the deal is, but they had to take a route that was unusual to them to get out of there and then get on a main road, then to the highway, and then to us. But they made it out of there, and so it was good because we got them here, and everybody was here and safe and everything else. And then we just kind of watched stuff burn for the next few hours. So, and people, tagging the Capitol and all this stuff. I mean, Denver had its own issues.
It was crazy here too. Yeah, I mean they showed shots of the Capitol building, and it's just.
Whoa, sorry, I don't know what that is.
We're getting a call. We're getting a call from.
I don't know why that's coming in. Hold on, hang up. Okay, that's not supposed to do that. It's on mute. Why isn't it muted? Okay, sorry. Anyway, yes. So Denver had their thing.
The Capitol building just totally defaced and vandalized and broken windows and things like that. And it's, I get it.
Well, we don't have to make judgment calls today. I mean, if you don't, we don't have to. I mean, here's the deal.
Yeah.
There are, and I said this yesterday, and I really mean this. If you go on Twitter or any kind of social media and you want to see what's going on, everybody with any kind of narrative has got 5 videos they'll send you that prove their story. And then somebody who has got the exact opposite story has 5 or 6 videos he could send you that would prove his story. And my thing is, we've all got cameras, we're all taking video, and everybody's got something to something to show about something. And plenty of those videos are showing extreme police brutality, and it's bad. Some of those videos show solidarity and some people working together. Some of those videos show some really shitty looting and some horrible destruction of property and the injuring of people. And I'm not saying you should shy away from any of it, but Brian and I are not going to tell you how to think about this. All right?
No.
I'm not going to pull a freaking these companies with their black screens and their white text poetic little we here at Keebler Elf Foods really believe strong. Like I appreciate the solidarity. Like I said on Twitter today, I really do appreciate solidarity when it comes, whatever form it comes in.
Of course.
We're not gonna be full of platitudes on this show. I think what we're gonna do on this show instead is we'll talk about this stuff as it happens, and we may have opinions or feelings or whatever. But we're not. TMS is not going to become your place where you're going to tune in and hear just nothing but woe and all that. You're going to get enough of that from a million other sources. Our goal here is to be fun for you guys, to laugh at each other, to laugh at ourselves, to have a good time, to do what we do on the show, and we have done for 9 years. And we're going to keep doing that because what else are we going to do?
Exactly. Let us be your beacon of laughter.
Right.
On this side of things.
I would say,
what?
Yeah, go ahead.
When jury's here tomorrow, we might, I can see us kind of delving into a little bit more discussion about this, but.
Oh yeah, there's plenty to say, right? Like there's so much to say. Like it's easy and I think you and I are probably on the same page, but like I am like 100% for these protests. I am 100% against looting and destruction.
Exactly. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I support the protesters 100%, and I feel like like the looting and the rioting going on is shifting way too much attention away from the protest and what they are standing for and what they mean. Because
It's also not even coming from the protesters for the most part.
Oh no,
Like, it's coming
no,
from
no. Yeah, they were doing a live feed or live. I'm sure every city's got their live newscasters out in the thick of it, and the Denver one was saying, yeah, if you can see, you can see where I'm at down here. You can see a fire down there, and there's a roving band of people. And then a couple of guys kind of walked behind him to be on camera and say, hey, where are all the people at? And it's like, they're carrying something to break a window with. And it's like, oh, okay. So really, it's not like you're saying, hey, we stand with the protesters. It's which stores can I bash a window in and get free stuff?
Yeah, there's some genuine jackassery happening.
It is, and it's totally taking away from the message. It's diluting the message that the protesters are trying to get across. And,
Right.
And
but on the other hand, hey, maybe don't shoot rubber bullets at journalists. Hey, maybe don't shoot them at medic tents. Like, shooting at medic tents is literally like a act of war, or it's a war crime technically by law. Don't be doing that. Hey, maybe don't shoot tear gas canisters into people's front porches when they are obeying curfew. Like, maybe don't shove ladies down on the street just because you don't like what they're yelling at your face. Like, there's enough of that going on too, where all you're doing is helping justify all the shit show. So stop. Just everybody freaking. Right. Oh my Lord. It's just so. Yeah. And on top of all of that going on, and it's happening during a pandemic. It's just a big old wet mess, and I just want people to be safe, and I also want real issues to get real fixes. I don't want to hear the NFL tell me how they stand with these guys. Freaking F off, NFL. You had your chance. When people were,
some of them did it. Kaepernick and his kneeling and stuff like that.
No, I don't mean the players. That's my whole point. The NFL is an organization. When he was kneeling, they were fining and not letting that dude have a job and everything else. It's the most hypocritical message I've read all week.
I see what you're saying. Like the executives.
It's like, you stand with him, do you? Oh, I see. Oh, interesting. So anyway,
it's really safe to stand with him now. Yeah.
Like I say, though, this is going to be what it's going to be. Some of you are not going to even like what we just said, but that's okay. We're all navigating
exactly.
Trying to get through it the best we can. All right. And I'm really sorry to hear about your grandma, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I didn't want to go too much into it, but for those that hadn't heard, my grandmother, Hungarian grandmother, passed away yesterday, 89 years old, lived a very, very full life, fled Hungary in 1956 with the Russian occupation and the Hungarian Revolution, with her husband Julius and my mom, and came here to America, to Denver, and anyway,
put down roots.
And the whole family was there with her, and even with COVID, we were able to have 2 people in the room with her at any given time. So we had a nice picnic table on the outside that we would keep everybody at, and then we'd trade off. 2 people would go in and 2 people would come out, and basically we had the whole family there. And she basically waited until the last granddaughter that was coming out could make it out. We have one granddaughter who couldn't make it out just because of work or whatever, but she was on via FaceTime. Anyway, so long story short,
she sounds awesome. You've done an amazing vocal impression of her Hungarian accent many times on the show.
Yes, and I still will. Her my impersonation of her will continue to live on as needed in future episodes.
For sure. She sounds like a cool lady. All right.
And I came home and did some morn baking. So I've got cinnamon rolls that I need to finish rolling and baking after TMS today. They're rising right now, cinnamon rolls.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Because that's what I do.
So one of the things Salt Lake City was famous for during these protests was this dude pulled up in a car. And I guess earlier he was brandishing a knife and running around, but it was unknown at the time. But right on camera for some local news and a whole bunch of people with phone cameras, obviously, the dude rolls up in a car, gets out of his car with a hunting bow and an arrow, and just starts yelling at protesters, and they were yelling back at him, and he did this whole he suddenly goes, all lives matter, and then lifts his bow up to aim it at people. He fired one.
Geez.
He fired one, but it like dudded off and just went blah, and just fell out of the thing. It was not good.
Kind of the way that would happen if I shot an arrow.
Kind of,
right
yeah,
now, right?
like me too.
Yeah.
He was having a hard time knocking it, like he was trying to get it on the wire and he couldn't get it, and then he had another one, and by the time he was like drawn back, he got tackled. The crowd tackled him, took away the bow, beat the schmoo out of him, and then set his car on fire. So
Look at that.
but I had the hardest time. Everyone's calling him Hawkeye now. I had the hardest time getting into this dude's head because imagine where your brain's at, where you say the phrase. First of all, I know it's like it's never said, it's never said in good faith, but he says the phrase "all lives matter," and so my brain goes, okay, well, if you really meant that, you immediately aimed an arrow at a person whose life
Their
matters.
life doesn't matter.
Well,
Yeah.
he says all lives, so I guess that guy you're aiming it at. Does he not like what
All
are you
lives
even
matter,
doing?
except yours.
And so then later, so this is the best part. Later, one of the local channels interviews this dude, and he's a little bloodied up and all sweaty and stuff, and
Yeah, he's got a
he's all
look
banged
like
up.
a bishop with like that, like almost an M over his eye with
Yeah, and he
blood
goes.
and.
So they ask him to tell his story, and his story is that he pulled up in his car and got out and was just talking to people, and they attacked. I mean, he completely omitted the bow from his story. He didn't say anything about having a bow.
Of course, yes, exactly. I didn't do nothing.
That guy is currently under arrest, by the way, and facing some sort of charge of aiming arrows at people.
And what's funny is, so I mean, they've well, not funny, but it's like they show his car
Yeah.
at the time with flames coming out of it. And then there's another photo of his car where it's been turned into kind of a piece of art. Like it's a burned out, trashed out car, but it's been spray painted and tagged to where it's all different colors.
Yeah.
And
And when he pulled up, it was a nice, fairly nice, newish looking like Toyota something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it was relatively. Yeah.
And he was all mad at the reporter. He goes, "That was my car. They just burned my car for no reason, and they took my phone. My phone was in that car. I think it burned my phone." And I'm like, "Talk about the bow and arrow, dude,
Yes, exactly.
or the butcher knife you had earlier, the hunting knife you were waving around earlier. Now there's a video of him earlier, like 20 minutes earlier, walking around with a knife, threatening people, and just some wackadoo. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, these sort of things have a way of bringing them all out of the woodwork, and
there's a
y'all
There's
need
a
to-
don't bring a bow and arrow to a gunfight kind of joke or something here that I don't feel like making, but it's there for anybody who wants it. I'll give you the ingredients. You can cook it yourself.
I like that. So there were two reasons Salt Lake ended up being on national news that night. One was Hawkeye,
Yeah.
and I like that one. A, because he didn't hurt anybody, and B, because that's just the weirdest, stupidest thing I've ever seen. And so I'm kind of I'm okay having one of the wackier moments coming out of my city. The one I didn't like is where there's reporters talking and a bunch of SWAT dudes get out of a van and shove an old guy with a cane to the ground. That was another thing that
geez.
happened downtown. And then later they realized what they'd done and helped him up. But still, don't do it in the first place. What the frick are you doing? Push an old guy with a cane? Come on.
Here's the thing that I'm most bummed about is there were reports of a tiger roaming the streets of Oakland last night amid the riots, and unfortunately, it turned out to be false. So
it wasn't real? Dang it.
it wasn't real. No one saw a tiger, and a tiger saw no man.
Who called that in? Was his name Jerry Robert Youngley?
Yeah, I want to tell you guys, there's a tiger running around Oakland. If you don't believe me, you can unfriend me.
It sucks. That sucks. Anyway,
Yeah.
we'll not talk about it for now because now we want to have some fun. All right?
Yeah.
That's what we want to do. We're going to pull our good friend Brian Dunaway in here. I don't know who's just constantly calling me, but I guarantee they're not getting in. You're not getting in if you're just going to keep doing that. You can call now, but I'm not letting whoever that was in.
It's not the way the game is played,
No,
sir.
that's too much.
Good day, sir.
Just a constant ring there. That's ridiculous. All right, we're adding Brian Dunaway to the call. Whoa, wait, that didn't work. Hold on. Remove from group. Oh, I'm in the wrong group. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I screwed that up. All right, here he comes. Now he's ringing in. I'm hanging that up. Okay, we're not answering that.
Okay.
Here we go. We're going to bring him in, and we're going to start it with this. Welcome to the show, Mr. Brian Dunaway from South Carolina here in these States United. Hello, Brian. Welcome. Good morning. Oh,
Brian.
I don't hear him. He has
I
gone
heard
mute.
noises, though, like he was...
Yeah. You are mute. You have become mute. You are mute, Brian.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, hi.
Oh, there he is.
Hi, what
I
happened there?
wasn't on mute. My headphones had turned off, and I was worried about saying anything while my headphones were off because I didn't want to go.
Yeah, we didn't want any F-bombs this early in the morning. It's not cool,
That's
you
right.
know?
That's not cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Hey.
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
Oh, hi.
I'm at home today.
Oh, are you? Why? What's that about? How come that's going on? Why are you home?
Well, you may not know this, but I have an autoimmune disease called psoriasis, and it's more than just skin deep. It has to deal with psoriatic arthritis and inflammation and stuff. And right now I have a terrible earache and sore throat, and I'm eating
Oh,
a
no.
popsicle. And I took the day off from work.
Well,
So,
I like the
here we
popsicle
are.
as part of your list of symptoms.
Right. Like it's well, I'm eating a popsicle and I have psoriasis and it's...
Everything else sucks. It was the only good part.
Yeah, I would agree. Do you know what? Enjoy that moment of your popsicle because I could use one of those. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I think it's one of those cheap Otter Pop things. Those are the best.
Oh,
yeah.
those are the best. That's a good...
Well,
Good choice right there.
I hope you feel better, dude, because that's no fun. And I'm glad you're here with
I
us
feel
today.
better already.
Oh, good. Well, let's
Talking to
test
you
your
guys.
mental acuity as we find out who's been on the line waiting patiently. Hi, good morning. Who's this?
Oh my gosh. Hey guys, this is Allie.
Hello, Allie. How are
Hey,
you?
Allie.
Hi, Allie.
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, so good. Look how excited you are. I've never seen anyone so excited. That's awesome. We are equally excited to have you on the show. Allie, where are you from?
I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Knoxville, Tennessee. Oh, yeah. I don't know why I said it that way. Knoxville's cool, though.
Oh, yeah. Knoxville.
Knoxville. It's where
Not quite the bachelorette party headquarters of Tennessee, but still close.
That's where Johnny's from, right? Johnny Knoxville's from there, or is he not? Or I don't know why.
Yes, he
Okay.
sure is.
He is from there. All right, cool.
You better be.
He better be with that name. All right, Brian Ibbett here is going to explain how these rules work and what your prizes are and how you could win.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be giving Scott and Brian a topic, and they're going to go back and forth giving me answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win is going to go to the other player. Your job, Allie, is to predict who's going to come out on top. Based on the topic today, you are playing for a fluctuating prize package. Here's what you could win I gotta say this right with a little roll in the R. Perfect Date, a visual novel dating simulator that I'm assuming involves cats somehow.
It does, and I've played it, and it
You
is
played it?
fantastic.
Excellent. And the Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Ooh.
Both of those courtesy of David Ganswatch. But you can opt, if you win, you can opt to trade one of those for a 4K digital copy of the movie Logan, courtesy of Anthony. So
I thought you were going to say swap it for a 4K
what's behind door
television.
number 3?
I think you were going to say a television because you said 4K and it threw me for a second.
Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
You could swap one of those for a
Or you
4K
could take-
television
Right,
program
we can take
called
what's
Logan.
behind door
That-
number 3.
that's awesome.
Oh, you won a donkey.
Yeah,
Do
well
I have to
done.
really take that home? Maybe.
A donkey.
That's right. So anyway, you'll get 2 things from that list, whatever 2 things you want. If you win, but to win, you've got to pick a player, and to pick a player, we have to give the guys their topic. This one comes to us from Josh Briggerman. Actually, a couple people have sent this one in, but Josh Briggerman was the most recent, and so he was the email I pulled up. There were 18 original dungeons in World of Warcraft. Brian, I know you played
Only
WoW
know one.
in the old days.
Rev still went.
Yeah, his body's still in there, I think.
I know. Is that really your body's not still in there, is it?
Of course it is. That's where I stopped playing.
he
That's where it
stopped playing.
starts off every time I launch
Yeah,
it
he
again.
he
So
died.
I'm like, oh no.
He died, and his body is in the. Well, I won't say the name of it.
Yeah, don't
but,
say it
yeah.
because,
Nah.
I hope you're familiar with other dungeons from the original Vanilla WoW.
Mhm.
Maybe if not, maybe we let you phone a friend or something. Or use
Right.
Anyway, there are 18. We want to know how many you can name. And Allie, I think you might have gotten a big hint on who to pick on this one to see who goes first and who you want to win.
Okay, I'm sorry, Brian, but I'm gonna have you go first and Scott to win.
Okay.
That is the best option. Absolutely.
It seems like the
Now-
right call.
Yeah,
now,
it
just
seems
as
like
a
the
hint,
right call.
if you let Brian Dunaway go first, he'll at least get one answer in.
Right. Please let me go first.
All right. You go first then. What do you got?
I'm gonna go with the Wailing of the Caverns.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, located in the Barrens, and the final boss, pre-Kata and post-Kata, is Mutinous the Devourer. And Brian's body apparently is still there, and
Yep.
this might turn into a very short battle royale.
It's a big
Moo.
rotting corpse of a.
Well, I know it.
of a
I think I
Tauren.
know a few more. But,
Okay, good. I was hoping.
but
you would.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right.
All right, we'll stay in the
Scott?
cave. We'll stay in the caves. Let's go with the. Well, at least in vanilla, it was the first one you hit. I don't know where it's at now, but Rage Fire Chasm.
That's what
Absolutely, right there in Orgrimmar.
Yep.
Pre-Kata, you would end with Bazalan, but after Kata, Lava Guard Gordoth
Yeah.
would be your final boss.
It was a lot better if I remember right, and I think right now it's higher level stuff too. It's like in the 20s or something.
Okay.
It used to be level 5 or 10 maybe, or I forget. It was pretty low. It's a long time ago, but it was in that Cliff of Shadow area in Orgrimmar, and
Gotcha.
spent a lot of time
Right,
there.
right. Yeah, as a rogue, all my stuff was there.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
All right, back to Brian.
All right. So I need a little clarification. So we're saying dungeons, right? So
We're saying dungeons.
all right. Trying to make sure because I'm like, my God, the last time I played World of Warcraft was almost 6 years ago now.
Well, good, because all of these things are older than 6 years.
Well, I know, but your memory, it's not like my memory has been like restruck or anything.
Yeah, that's a good
Right.
point.
For some reason, I keep thinking of stuff like Shadowfang Keep, but is that really? That's not really. Is
Should
that
say that
considered?
You should
right?
say that one.
I should say. I'm saying that one. I'm going with Shadowfang
Shadowfang
Oh,
Keep.
very good.
Yeah.
Well done.
Well done.
Well, that's what I was trying to think. I'm like, is it really a dungeon? I mean, it's kind of.
It definitely is a dungeon. Located in lovely Silver Pine Forest, you'll pre-Kata face up against Archmage Arugula, and post-Kata, Lord Godfrey would be your final boss. In that one.
Lord Godfrey. All right.
Lord Godfrey.
So
You notice, Scott, that I'm going to give Brian a little bit of
yeah.
out a little bit on this one. Not
It's
because I
totally
don't want
fine.
Allie to win. I just don't. I want this to last more than like 3 answers.
5
Yeah,
seconds.
I'm with
Yeah.
you. That's where Cassia comes from, by the way, in Heroes of the Storm. She's a character, or she's a boss lady from. Or no, wait, is she from that one? I might be thinking of a different one. All right, anyway, it doesn't matter. My pick is Gnomragon.
Gnomragon, of course. Dunmoreau. Dunmoreau.
Dunmoreau.
Mechgineer Thermaplug was your actually post and pre Kata final boss on that one. That one I don't know very well. Gnomragon.
Yeah. That was, a lot of
I'm
alliance crap.
enjoying Ibit pronouncing these names.
Yes,
This has made me happy.
Not only is your WoW knowledge being put on display here, but my WoW knowledge is being put on display here too.
Right.
All right.
All right, Dunaway.
See, all these things we keep calling them dungeons, and I know what a dungeon is, but when I think
Sure.
of these places, I don't consider them to be dungeons because they're kind of like even the Shadowfang Keep. I don't really consider it.
Yeah, it's a keep, not a dungeon,
Technically,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's these are think of dungeons in the
It's like a inside area to which you may have to run.
an
have a
instance. Should we
run.
call it an instance? Is that kind of a
That
better?
might be easier if you said that. Then I would kind of go, well, maybe like the Scarlet Monastery. I mean, I remember running around a lot in that area.
He should,
that really
he should say
considered-
that.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I was saying.
You
The
look at that
Scarlet Monastery. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, he should say that.
it's
Yeah,
a- it's
well,
just-
there
that's
we
totally
go.
wrong.
And now Allie wins.
now I went. All right, so I
Wait, Scarlet Monastery. Oh, that was right. That wasn't a dungeon till Mists.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
really?
Yes.
Wait, then why did I play it so much?
Wait, hold
No,
on
okay,
a
so it
second.
wasn't a dungeon, but it was a
No.
location.
Hold
Not
on.
not a dungeon.
No, wait, that can't be right. Let me think for a
Scarlet
second.
Monastery.
I
That
think
can't be
that's
right. I
something's
played
weird
the crap
there.
out of the original
No,
Vanilla
Scarlet
WoW.
Monastery. Wait, was it a? It was
Well,
a raid.
Okay, hold on. Oh, Mush Potatoes is saying Scarlet Monastery was 4 dungeons. So be more specific. Is that the deal?
Oh.
It was a multi. I think it's still counted as a dungeon though.
Why is it not on my list then?
I don't know. Now I'm
It's,
trying to
yeah,
remember.
a bunch of people are saying it absolutely was a dungeon.
Did it get turned into a raid later, or am I thinking? If I can't look at the chat, so I don't know what they're saying. But
Right.
oh, I don't remember because it did get a big facelift and total got reused and
All right, you know
up-leveled
what?
and-
I'm manually writing it onto the list because I remember doing it. I was
I
curious
did the
about
crap out of it. Get stuck
yeah,
there for
graveyard,
so long.
cathedral, armory, none of which are on here. So Scarlet Monastery, I am so putting on this list and putting a B next to it. Brian has claimed Scarlet Monastery as his own.
Well done. Yeah, that sounded right. All right.
I don't know why it's not on here then.
Oh, now my brain's in wackadoo mode here.
Spasms.
We said that one, so let's see. Oh, the Dead Mines. The Dead Mines.
Dead Mines in Westfall.
Yeah.
Edwin Van
one.
Cleef was your pre-Cata final boss, and Vanessa took over the role after Cataclysm.
Vanessa.
But never Van Cleef, the old actor from Django. Who was the guy's name?
Wait, Van Cleef?
It was Van Cleef.
Yeah,
the old Western.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Van Cleef,
Oh,
yeah,
right,
yeah.
the
I can
guy
see his
that-
face,
with the
little
eyeballs.
smarmy mustache, little squinty eyes.
Yeah, that guy.
Exactly. Lee Van
Why
Cleef.
couldn't
Lee Van
couldn't
Cleef.
that have been the trivia question this week?
Right? That's what I said.
All right. Back over to Brian Dunaway. Pick something
I'm
else
going
that's
with
not on
it.
my list that's a correct answer.
Right. I'm going with the Wailing Caverns Part 2. That was no, okay.
I was going, what the hell are you talking about?
Don't say that one.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Right,
say
no,
that.
don't say that one. Well, stay away from that one.
Waiting Caverns
Man,
Part 2.
I am between my addled brain right now with all the medicine in my system and so long ago. Good Lord.
Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been so long.
It's been a while. And you haven't, it's not like you're playing Classic WoW, which has all this stuff in it
No,
again. Yeah.
but I'm wanting to.
Yeah.
Especially if there's gonna be any more trivia questions.
I know. I'm remembering some of these. I think I haven't gone back into like Wailing Caverns since I first played Legion, Burning Legion. Remember Burning
Right.
Legion?
And there were a ton of these. And keep in mind,
Burning.
Burning Legion was the first expansion, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you, or not Burning Legion, Burning Crusade, sorry.
Burning Crusade. That's why it didn't. Okay, that's why it didn't sound so. familiar.
The Burning Legion were the Burning, they were the bad guys.
Right. yes.
But what was I going to say? I forgot. Anything that's a 5-man counts, I guess. So
Right.
Yes.
I'm still trying to get my head around why Scarlet Monastery was different, but I guess it's because it had multiple wings in it, but it was still 5 people.
Yeah, and I don't know why that wouldn't be on this list because it totally should be on this
Yeah,
list.
that's weird.
So,
All
Brian,
right.
did you have a? You have a?
You have a guess?
I have a this. I know this is not even right. I can't even think, but for some reason my mind keeps saying something with Ironforge, but I know that's not right. But I'm gonna say something. Ironforge Keep. Sure, why not? That
Sure,
sounds
why
like
not?
that
Ironforge
would be-
Keep. Sure.
That sounds like something that
Excellent.
would be in
Yeah.
there. I don't know. Is
Yeah,
that
say
even
that
a
one.
place?
Go ahead
That's
and
not
say
even
And congratulations to Allie.
Yeah, Allie wins.
Winner, winner, chicken
a-
dinner.
What is Ironforge? There's something with. Oh God, what am I thinking of?
Well, let me guess a few more, and then see if one
Yeah.
of those is it. So I already said Dead
Sure.
Mines, didn't I? I said Dead Mines?
You did say
Okay.
Deadlines.
There's Black Fathom Deeps.
Yep.
There's
Deep.
Ashenville.
I actually could have might have been able to pull that one.
Sunken Temple,
Don't
Yep.
remember that.
Black Rock Depths,
Yep.
Black Rock Spire, right?
Two of them.
Or was that
an upper and a lower.
BC?
Oh,
Okay.
I do remember
no,
those
they're-
now. I do
Upper
remember
Blackrock
those.
Spire and Lower Blackrock Spire. Two separate.
Oh, those are separate
Dungeons.
dungeons? I don't remember that.
Those are separate dungeons.
Strathholm, because he did the culling of
Strathholm,
Strathholm business.
Correct.
Zul'Farrak, I think.
Uh-huh.
And that might be all I know. Oh, Razorfen Downs, the
Yeah.
Razorback.
Yes, with
things.
all the stupid.
I hate those guys.
Man,
Razorback.
when you say every one of
whatever
them,
they
I'm
are.
like, yeah, oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
geez.
And that's all I remember. I'm sure there's more. There was a lot.
Not bad. There's a couple more. Stockade.
Oh, that's
Razorfen Crawl.
okay.
Okay.
Moradon. Uldaman.
Hold them on.
And Oldemon and Dire Maul.
Oh, Dire Maul.
Shit.
God.
Quillboars, yes, Quillboars.
Oh, right, Quillboars. That's what was all in those the Razor Fen stuff. I hate those
Razor
guys.
Fen stuff was all the Quillboars, yes.
They all went.
That's right. There we go. And now I know, and now listeners know. Maybe not so much the WoW.
Not so much the
right?
WoW. Considering the guy who hasn't played in 6 years, another guy does a podcast. Weekly
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
got
Whatever. I'm just saying.
15-year-old podcast about it. Sure, doesn't help.
I mean, judging by Furt Raid and not seeing Scott in there for like 6 months, I don't know how much he's playing WoW these days.
I'm more than you'd
Okay.
think, but I'm playing. I'm literally leveling Lobby alts, and I don't know why, but I'm enjoying the crap out of that. And it's
Good,
kind of my
that's
game
awesome.
right now. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, hey, Allie, how do you feel about your win today?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I just love you all so much.
Oh, that's so nice.
Aw.
Listen to that. It's so nice of you to say that. Well, we love you too. And guess what? You get this stuff and you get it for free. All you got to do is email briancoverville@gmail.com and he will hook you up with your codes.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
We'll figure out if you want Logan and what you want to swap it out for or whatever. But yeah, email me coverville@gmail.com. We'll get you all set up.
Yeah, and you may be my favorite caller that ever called in, just so you know. That was amazing. We'll see you
I know
later.
you actually are kind of the
Most
sunshine,
excited.
the breath of sunshine, the voice of sunshine that I think we all
The
need
breath
today.
of sunshine.
The breath of sunshine.
I like that idea. Yeah, I like that.
Wait, what is it
Oh
normally?
my God, it's so hot!
What is it
I'm
normally?
gonna go outside, take a breath of sunshine.
Breath of
God,
breath
it's
of,
burning my
it's
face.
the breath of fresh air. I couldn't think of what you were
That's
trying
kind
to
of
say.
it, but also like the ray of sunshine. I was combining like the ray of sunshine and the breath of fresh air that we need.
Yeah.
From right
It was like a ray of breath,
Yeah.
like Godzilla.
yeah,
you
like
know,
that song.
and you laugh right now. Just wait until the next Zelda game. It'll be Legend of Zelda: Breath of Sunshine.
The breath of sunshine.
I'd play that. Hey, Dunaway, well done. I hope you feel better, dude. It sucks that you're
Absolutely.
feeling
No,
down, but
I'm going to be fine. Just getting a little bit of rest. This is, it's fine.
all right. Well, don't forget to check out our latest episode of Film Sack. We did this last weekend. It was great. We did Phantasm for the first time ever, which was
Yes.
a good
So
time.
good.
And also today, if Brian's up to it, I guess I haven't talked to you since you've been ill, but we're going to be doing the Boop Show, so stick around for that at 3:30 Mountain Time.
I will power it up. That's why I'm getting the rest now, so that later on I can do it.
All right, that's today then.
4 hours of sleep and then an hour's worth of something.
And video game talk. We can do it. Brian Dunaway, everybody. He is the Brian Dunaway on Twitter. See you later. Bye.
Swoop.
Swoop. He said swoop, right? Did you hear that right?
The news is starting, sir.
Swoop. All right. Let's get in here. And what am I doing here? Let's do the news real quick. Time for the news, brought to you by.
Fred and Can has a new comic out this morning. Check it out at fredandcan.com.
I would recommend it. It's a second in a continuing short storyline I'm doing, which is a thing I don't normally do, where part of grocery shopping from Fred brought home a can of canned tomatoes. And, Can's pretty excited about it. So he's getting to know it, getting to know her. One would assume maybe she's a her. I don't know. I don't know if there's gender with cans or not. But
Well, sure, you always hear the phrase, "Oh, she's a real hot tomato." So
yeah. But things take a turn today, and you're gonna want to check it out. So
right.
fredandcan.com, go check it out. All right, Brian. If I asked you, you know what? I'm gonna skip that one. I'm gonna do this one instead. Hold on. All right, a mooning mower.
Can better be careful, or else she's gonna get prego.
That's actually a decent joke.
Oh shoot! I hope I didn't.
No, you didn't. You
I
gave me.
didn't say. Well, thanks, Brian. That was gonna be week 3.
No, you were just giving me that's just a good idea. I'd have to figure that in. All right. Do you ever moon anybody, Brian? You ever moon anyone?
Yes, and it was in 3rd grade, and I I had to go to detention to Mr. Jolly. We had a principal named Mr. Jolly, which is a great name for a principal.
Was he
All
jolly?
right, Brian, you're going down to Mr. Jolly's.
Was he jolly or was he not as jolly as you'd like?
He was not jolly. He was super tall, so of course his nickname was Jolly Green Giant. But he was a stern, fearsome figure that
So
Mr.
the
Mr. Jolly.
opposite of jolly, really.
the absolute opposite of Joel. How about you? Have you ever mooned anybody?
Yeah, I did it a couple of times, but the most recent was high school. We were dragging State, we used to call it. So just driving down State Street at night.
Okay.
Was in my friend's Datsun B210. And we drove by a car full of girls who were flipping us off. So
Okay. That'll teach them.
So I got up and dropped trow, as we used to say, and just mushed my butt up on that window for a good, 20 seconds. And that was the last time I mooned anyone. It was a long time ago.
Pressed ham. That's right. Yes.
Yeah, pressed ham. What's the other one? Pressed fruit bowl.
Maybe yes.
Something like
Maybe
that.
the other way to go.
Yeah, but mooning.
That's
I feel like mooning has fallen out of favor, but not for this guy. There is a mooning mower. He's being referred to by local law enforcement. Jacksonville man facing arrest after reports he mooned neighbors who asked him to stop mowing their lawns that weren't his. So this is one of those guys just mowing other people's lawns. Sometimes it's nice. It's like, oh, the neighbor mowed our lawn. How sweet of him. That was really cool. This guy's just doing it and being asked not to, probably because it's either too short or he's not doing a good job, or people would rather take care of their own lawns.
He's drawing a set of boobies in the grass with his mower.
Exactly. It's like, here's a wiener. Bradley M. Hayes, age 42, was arrested 7:50 p.m. on Tuesday for disorderly conduct charge. Police were called because the man was mowing a yard that was not his property. And when residents approached him and asked him to leave, the man stood up, pulled his pants down, and exposed his buttocks, according to Jacksonville Police Sergeant Sean Walker. The act caused multiple neighbors to be alarmed and disturbed by the actions, according to the police report.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd be alarmed and disturbed. I might be alarmed.
They might be alarmed by the mowing and disturbed by the mooning.
Yeah, there you go. Alarmed first.
Oh, there's a guy mowing. He's mooning. I'm so
mooning.
disturbed.
Go back to mowing. All right.
Crazy neighbor mows the common area behind all of our houses on the green belt. So we've got this little ravine with sometimes a water-filled creek in there, but it's usually dry or has just kind of a trickle of water going through it.
Sure.
But weeds grow really high in there, and it makes it hard sometimes to see his cats. So he'll actually go out there and he'll mow the common area around our houses. It makes it look a lot better, a lot cleaner.
Sure.
And one of our neighbors offered to buy him a case of Corona for doing a case of Corona beer. Not a case of coronavirus.
You can give him a case of coronavirus.
He's going to give you, if you don't get out there, I'm going to give you a case of Corona.
Oh, my Lord. That's great.
But while the most recent person that I've ever seen moon is him.
Yeah.
I've not seen him moon while he's mowing.
Yeah. No mow moon combo.
Right.
That's good.
But he is the most recent person I've seen do the actual act of mooning somebody.
You've seen his bum bum. I got
I've seen his bum bum.
Final story for today, given that we got to talk to Steven soon. A man drinks a liter of lemon juice in under 17 seconds for a world record.
A liter. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, this is lemon juice, not lemonade. This isn't like tasty, sugary drink. This is straight lemon juice.
Is it real? Was he doing real lemon, or was it freshly squeezed?
Good question. We have real lemon in our fridge.
A whole liter of 100% lemon juice.
It says here, it just says lemon juice. He's an Idaho man. He turned a sour taste into a sweet achievement when he drank a liter of lemon juice through a straw in under 17 seconds for a Guinness World Record. David Rush. Great last name. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Today's Anyway, he has broken more than 100 Guinness World Records to promote STEM education. Emptied the glass containing the whole liter in 100% lemon juice in 16.53 seconds, so just under 17. Russia's time bested the previous record of 17.12 seconds. Almost a full second.
By Renee Zellweger, I believe.
That's why she's so sour-faced? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that she held the previous record for drinking lemon juice, yes.
Okay. All right. I gotcha. On the previous record holder was somebody named Andre Ortloff. Or Ortolf.
Okay.
So not who you were thinking. Rush said he kept from throwing up after finishing the juice, but his stomach discomfort lasted until the next day. Go ahead and just barf it up.
Yeah, I'm sure it would.
Just puke it up.
Drinking that, I mean, that's impressive. I'm actually thinking the even more impressive part is doing it through a straw, because if you were to just kind of chug it out of the bottle, you could probably get through it pretty quickly and just,
Yeah.
You just kind of open the throat muzzle and drink the whole liter, right? Super quick.
But it begs a bunch of new questions, though. Are there rules about the straw? What's the length? What's the thickness?
Yeah.
What's the I
don't know about that. Really, you think?
Oh,
I think
I'd have to.
I
right?
don't think Guinness cares about whether he uses a straw or not.
Really. So you
I
think
don't think
so
so.
You think the record is just we don't have it here.
Because it's the time. It's the 17.12 seconds is the
so
is the
however
liter of
so however you
lemon
get
juice.
it down, they don't care. You think
right.
it's just
right,
whatever.
Exactly.
Okay. So if they want, like Pops and McLean says, use a pool noodle. Yeah. So if you wanted to,
you could.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought the Guinness people were super hardcore about that. I guess not. Maybe I don't know. I thought they had all kinds of rules.
I think the timing is the thing that they care about.
Okay.
Because otherwise, then you'd say, okay, well, I'm going to do it in 35 seconds, but I'm going to use a soup ladle.
Mm. We should do is one of those helmets with the beer holders, and they just put. You know what I mean?
I just think the straw makes the whole process take a different turn. Like you're tasting every ounce of that lemon juice as opposed to just chugging it like it's a Corona for
Yeah.
for a callback right there.
See, and then so Red Fraggle in the chat says, "I bet Guinness would disqualify him if he barfed it up." Okay, well then that maybe.
What's the time length though? Yeah, I mean, if he had the stomach discomfort, what if he threw up 3 hours later?
Yeah, or what if he barfed? Like, what's the cutoff? Because in 5 years he barfed for other reasons. Are we still counting it? Like you got to have rules. You got to have them rules, man.
Exactly.
All right. Congratulations to him. We're going to move on to a music break when we come back. Steven Schleicher will be here for Major Spoilers. We're going to talk about some stuff going on there, as well as a few other things. So stick around. Let's do a song first, though. Do you have something?
Yeah, got a brand new album coming out from Liela Moss. I think it's pronounced Liela.
Sometimes people love me. Sometimes people hate me. But at the end, I speak the facts. Sometimes people cannot handle the facts.
He may not be any chicken, but he's a tough baby when the situation calls for it.
Are they made from real Girl Scouts? This is the Morning Stream.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I really like that song. I'm going to track them down.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, she's got an entire album of covers, well, an EP of covers of songs about rain. So Here Comes the Rain Again, Can't Stand the Rain, When Will It Stop Raining, Will Somebody Please Do Something About This Stupid Rain. I can't, there's no chocolate rain though. But
shoot.
Liela Moss, Liela, Moss spelled just like you would expect it to be, and that song was called Atoms and Me. Kind of as a Florence and the Machine kind of feel to it as well, without the kind of register range that Florence has.
Yeah, that sounds right. That was one of my wife's favorite bands is Florence and the Machine. So I
play
think,
this for her and see what you think.
Yeah, I bet she likes it. Also, covers of Full of Rain or rain covers. You should send that to Brian Dunaway and say, "Hey, what do you make of this? What's this?
What does it mean? What's the symbolism of this album?"
Yeah. Can you tell us what the symbolism is?
It could be Lila, right? Liela, right? Since it's Lie, La.
Oh, it could be Lila. Yeah, that's a hard name.
Totally could be.
What are you gonna
Thank
do?
you, Pops and Recline. Good point.
Good point.
Steven.
An even better point is this one I'm going to make, that Steven Schleicher is joining us from Hayes, Kansas. He is here each Monday to talk about all things Major Spoilers. Steven, welcome to the show.
Hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
How are you? How are you doing, man? You doing all right? You hanging in there?
Well, you know, it's a pretty crazy world.
Yeah.
And it's just, we got to do better.
So you're, so okay. So we were talking about this weekend, but I've got, 3 kids that are now 19 to, how old's Taylor now? 25, I guess. Which seems weird to even say, but they're older, mature. They've seen some stuff. They get it. They understand. They're doing all right. But little kids don't understand what all this stuff is. Now, part of me thinks that little kids just aren't paying attention either. Like, if you're if you're 5 or 6,
kids are dumb.
if you're 5 or 6 years old and the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, it doesn't really stick with you in the way that it did for the adults that were around then. Or if you were a year or two old when 9/11 happened, you don't really have a reference point for it. So when bad things happen, like what's your deal with as a parent of younger kids? Are you feeling like you have to do a lot of explaining, or are you guys like how's that all going?
That's a really complicated question, to be honest. The oldest is 12, soon to be 13. The youngest is 9. I don't know if the 9-year-old pays as much attention to what's going on outside of the house and outside of Star Wars and all the other stuff that he partakes in.
Yeah.
But the oldest gets it. But we still, when the news is on and they see these things, and we have to stop and talk about why this is. Right. And I have to caution them because my kids are of mixed heritage, mixed race. And so we have to explain to them that, you're fortunate that your skin color is as light as it is because you do not get all of the racism and slurs thrown your way like your mom did when she was in school, or like full Asian kids do at the middle school that the oldest goes to. So he sees that and he knows it, and he knows that he is privileged in that way. Mm-hmm. But I said, you do still have to be cautious because, there are people out there who, regardless, if they find out that you're not quote unquote pure, they will take offense to that and could cause you harm. And you always need to be on the lookout on that stuff. Also, we also have a conversation about how, that stuff is not cool. Racism isn't cool, and treating others poorly is not cool based on their skin or their sex or religious beliefs. We do have those conversations, and they're tough conversations because sometimes I don't think they get it. But then when the oldest comes back from middle school and he's like, yeah, this happened today and we really feel bad about it. And I'm like, well, what did you do? Mm-hmm. What did you do about it?
Yeah.
So, they see it, but they are not in a position that a lot of black kids would be, or, other minorities would be in a school system just because of the way that their skin color is.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that. Well, you're a good dad, and those are good kids, and
I hope so.
Glad you guys are doing okay.
The youngest is a big fan of Kylo Ren, so I'm not sure I did a good job in introducing him to Star Wars.
He comes around, Kylo in the end is he gets to kiss his sister.
Redemption, a little bit of redemption.
Yeah. I mean, that is, we having watched Star Wars all the way through all of the movies, introducing again the 9-year-old to that, and seeing his reaction to everything and how much he thinks New Hope and Episode 9 are the best movies. Mm-hmm. Actually, I'm sorry. He thinks Return of the Jedi and My Name is Skywalker are the best movies. And after watching that, you watch it, that it's like, is this movie really about the Skywalker family? Or, I mean, in a sense, it is, because even though Rey really doesn't have any lineage to the Skywalkers, Ben Solo's redemption is a Skywalker story.
Yeah. A little too easy, though. Like, you freaking killed your dad and tossed him down the pit. Spoilers. But, I feel like you didn't do enough redemption for that. It seemed really rough. You didn't really have to pay the iron price, Like, that was a little on the soft side, in my opinion. Yeah. They sewed that up a little too easy. It's like, oh, dad dream, and Han Solo says everything's cool. All right. I guess I'm good.
Okay, I'll be good now. Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine. Good, yeah. I'm good now. All right. Well, Steven, let's talk about what's going on.
Let's try to talk about something that maybe is a little bit more light and not maybe as deep and heavy as patricide and racism.
Sure.
There's this crazy rumor. I mean, it's a rumor right now that Henry Cavill is in talks with Warner Brothers to reprise his role as Superman, not in a sequel to Man of Steel or Justice League or anything like that, but to essentially make cameo roles, essentially what the Hulk does in the Marvel movies, in 2 upcoming DC movies. And so while this is, again, all rumor, there's no contracts been signed, nobody has come out officially and said these things, so you just have to take it with that grain of thought. It's made me wonder, what 2 movies would you want to see Superman make a cameo appearance in?
Oh, geez. as Henry Cavill or just in general? Or
Well, as Superman.
okay.
Not Henry Cavill as himself, because that would be really weird.
No. I mean, but him as Superman showing up
As
in
Superman, yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
the thing.
And
Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
it has to be an existing, like a movie that we know is coming out from
Yes.
Warner Brothers.
Mm.
Okay.
Well,
Or
it'd have
in
to be.
production
It'd
or
have
in
to
the
be
works.
consistent with the current Batman.
Yeah,
Sorry.
so here are some of the upcoming movies that we know are in the works. Or complete. Wonder Woman 84. We've got the new Pattinson Batman. We've got Black Adam and Shazam, and supposedly another Aquaman is in the works, etc.
Would have to
etc.
be. The other one did well enough.
Yeah.
And The Flash has been put on hold, right?
Yeah, until they figure out what they want to do with Ezra Miller.
Oh, it's such a bummer because that's one I was really looking forward to. I mean, Batman seems like an obvious choice. The Pattinson Batman would be a great one to have.
Yeah, have a little quickie there in that. That'd be good.
Mhm.
I also think the Aquaman 2 would be a good place. I don't
The
think
two that
I don't think you can do Wonder Woman 84 because
No.
there's a time problem. You know,
Right.
they don't meet until way later, at least in the DCU or whatever.
right DCEU.
Yeah, DCEU. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So here's the two that I would put him in, and these are probably closer to happening than not. The first one would be the Shazam 2 movie.
Mm-hmm.
The second one would be in the Black Adam movie. And the reason I say that is because of the fact that Superman's powers are, there was the whole lawsuit about Captain Marvel back in the day, where DC basically sued to take down Captain Marvel, and then brought him into the DC universe when the company ran out of money, and then started to introduce Shazam into the comic book properties.
Right.
If anyone has seen, and this is a good movie recommendation if you guys want to sit around and see what Shazam and Black Adam are really like, go check out Superman Shazam: The Return of Black Adam. It's an animated movie from Warner Brothers Animation Studios. It's really good, and it really shows how you could bring a character like Superman into a Shazam movie along with Black Adam, and also have Black Adam or Superman appear in a Black Adam movie, just because of the nature of who Superman is and how his powers and his history relates to these other two characters.
Wasn't for a while there, The Rock was going to be Black Adam? Is that still
Yeah,
a
he
thing?
still is. He still
Okay.
is, yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so that's still happening as far as we know.
Mhm. As far as we know now, again, everything with COVID is thrown everything out of whack. So
yeah, it's all up in the air. Let's see here. This is from 2010. November 2010 this came out. I assume this might even be on the new HBO Max service, this movie.
it might be. I didn't look into what all the animated movies were on there. I think a large majority of them are. But I know, Brian, you were talking last week. Never mind. You were talking last week, Brian, about you were surprised that all of the DC Universe TV shows had not been migrated over to HBO Max. And you had looked, and I think you had mentioned a Collider article or something in regards to that. There's probably another reason why some of those have not migrated over yet, and that's because of the upcoming fall TV series, or lack thereof of the fall TV season over on the CW, because the CW has pushed all of their shows, Supergirl, Batwoman, all that stuff. Well, Batwoman, who knows? All into the January 2021 slot, which means they have nothing for this fall. And one of the things that they have announced is that the Swamp Thing, the single season Swamp Thing that was part of the DC Universe online service, is now going to be running next fall on the CW.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that will give them something to put in there. And again, with everything that's going on, I think that there's going to be some shuffling around of some of those shows to see where they can slot them or sell them to make some money off the deal, or some additional money off the deal.
Will they start?
Go ahead.
Will they start with the stuff that's been already released?
The Swamp Thing stuff? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because that show's done. They're not doing a second season.
Oh,
of that.
okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so it's
really
literally
filler.
just a rerun filler so that they can fill in
okay.
that space. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Have you given this Batman versus Superman Snyder Cut thing a look yet? Have you watched that?
I mean, I haven't seen it.
It's not going to be available until 2021.
Yeah,
I thought it was out. No,
because it's going to cost
No.
it's going to cost them several millions of dollars to do these new. They have like new CGI, new shots they have to create for this.
Yeah, so essentially they have to finish up all the post-production. There may be a little bit of ADR, but again, from what I hear, if they have to bring those actors back in to do any ADR, it will cost many more millions of dollars than the $30 million that it's been estimated to fix just the green screen stuff and the special effects stuff from the stuff that wasn't used in the film. So yeah, they're working on that now. I've talked about it before. I think this is as much as I don't think that the Snyder Cut is something that should have happened, because he did walk away from the project, for very legitimate reasons. But that kind of washed his hands of the whole affair. But I really think that this is a brilliant move by HBO to get people to start talking about HBO Max. Because before then, if you go and look, I was even talking to some of our fans on Discord, and they were like, yeah, I'm not going to subscribe to a service where the movies come on and off every month and you don't know what's there. And I was like, oh no, this is supposed to be everything that Warner Brothers does all under one roof. And they didn't know that. And I think Forbes did a quick little poll to say, hey, did you know that the Criterion Collection was on HBO Max? Did you know that these certain films are on HBO Max? Did you know that this was on HBO Max? And people were like, I had no idea that Rick and Morty was on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Or that Friends was on HBO Max.
All of the they're not doing a great job of marketing some of that ancillary stuff, and they really need to, because right now I'm actually on the site and they have a gigantic Adult Swim section, like stuff from way back, like home movies, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and newer stuff. The entirety of Samurai Jack is now on there because that last season was kind of bloody, so they put it on Adult Swim now. The Boondocks, like some amazing stuff. All here, dude. Like, if you're into that, I mean, I don't know, some people may not be, but the Cartoon Network collection that's on here is really good. They got,
they don't have all of the Looney Tunes stuff on there, but they do have a pretty good collection of Looney Tunes stuff.
Yeah, it's like 30 seasons, however they determine what a season is of Looney Tunes, because it was all in movies and stuff. But it's a lot, and it's all from the Blu-ray remastered stuff they did, so it's all really clean. Like, even the really old, like 1939 stuff looks great. I've been watching a bunch of it. They also have a giant Crunchyroll section if you're really into anime. Good Lord. It's like a huge...
It is a surprising amount, yeah.
I'm pretty sure didn't Warner Brothers buy Crunchyroll?
Say what now? Did they?
I'm pretty sure Warner Brothers bought Crunchyroll.
Oh, maybe they did. Well, that would explain it then. If they did.
But you mentioned the Studio Ghibli stuff as well, all in there.
Yeah.
I see
Now, I don't know if all the stuff is there, because, I mean, there's a really good movie. It's called Grave of the Fireflies from Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
But, oh man, it is super depressing. It is super, super sad. And it is the, the toils of war and the ultimate toil that it takes on people. And it is, a lot of people, will want to watch it, but I would really caution you, if you are into Porco Rosso, if you think Ponyo is great, if you love, the Castle of Cagliostro, you think that's all good times, man, watch out when you get to Grave of the Fireflies, because that will wreck you for months.
That's good. Good advice. Good warning there.
Good warning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to know. It's like, a Miyazaki film I haven't seen yet. Let's watch. Oh.
Yeah. But it's
not bad, but it's just
sure.
Refreshing.
Do you have any line on whether or not we ever get Swamp Thing on HBO Max? You think that's ever going to happen?
I think probably it will after it does its run on the CW.
Yeah, because the other CW stuff appears to be there, right?
Some of it
I've never
is,
seen that. Yeah, the Flash and Arrow, and I didn't look to see if Legends of Tomorrow, but I
don't know if Black Lightning's on there yet.
Oh, good point. Yeah, no kidding. Okay.
Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes peeled. They own a lot of stuff, so
this really was a bad. Honestly, it was a really bad rollout of HBO Max, and again, I think it has to do a lot with coronavirus, or it could just be that Warner Brothers is really bad at following through on stuff.
Yeah.
But it's definitely has
the way it'll win the
you
day.
You can see that it will look at in like 5 years. You can look at this and say in 5 years this is going to be an awesome service.
Yeah, I agree. I think that there's gigantic potential. What wins the day is content, and they just need to keep putting more of it in there, and they need to be better about letting you know it's there. Because right now HBO Max just sounds like, well, it's HBO, and what else? Like, you don't know.
Right.
So in some ways they did themselves a favor by putting HBO there, because that's your brand, and that's the strongest brand that you have in your lineup for content. But in some ways it does them a disservice, because nobody knows what else that means. They just think it's another version of HBO. in previous this, there was already your TV one. There was Go. There was Now. Like,
yep.
I'm still don't know if I'm paying for it or if I'm getting it free through my phone service because AT&T owns all of that. So it's
but have you logged in? I mean, do you have like an HBO Go or Now account?
I do. I have a.
Well, then just log in with that because then you can say because I have HBO
tie
Now,
it to my
and then you
AT&T.
just tie it to HBO Max, and it automatically just transfers everything over.
Well, I did that, and I now have Max going, but I am paying for it. The question is, should I not be because of my data plan I have with AT&T, which is supposed to give you HBO Max for free? And if so, it's a separate login. It'll be my AT&T login, but that's my wife's account.
Have you,
it's all
have you just tried logging in with that account?
Well, it's my wife's, and I don't even know if she remembers her password. Like you know how phone stuff is. It's like, we got our phones. We don't have to think about it. Yeah. And so now I gotta track it down. I'll figure it out. But it'd be nice to get it.
But there's some good stuff. I watched 39 Steps this weekend on HBO Max. So
the old Hitchcock,
the Hitchcock movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could really see that getting remade today, and you could really set it as a World War II thing again. But I mean, it doesn't come off as a comedy, but you could have a not so George Clooney-esque actor play the lead in that movie.
Yeah.
And still make it come off as a really good kind of semi-thriller / comedy.
Yeah.
In the works. So
do they have
like good stuff over there?
I'm looking through the Crunchyroll stuff, and I'm just trying to find giant robots, and I'm having a hard time. So.
But still, going back to the Zack Snyder stuff, that was the best thing that HBO Max could do to generate buzz about their service.
Yeah. I agree. Well, we'll see what they do in the future. I'm optimistic. It's just a weird time to launch anything, honestly. I feel bad for there's a whole bunch of people this last week who launched big premiere things. Like I was looking at Elder Scrolls Online. They launched an amazing new expansion that puts everybody back in Skyrim, and super exciting, lots of hype, all very cool. But what a bummer week. I mean, I realize this is minor. Right. I realize this does not matter in the larger scheme of things. But if we could just all get our crap together as a race of human beings, then perhaps we could then just enjoy the cool stuff we create and not be fighting all the time. You know? That's the most Pollyanna-ish thing I've ever said. But I understand. I understand. I minimized everything, but I don't know. The little kid in me just wants to play at the playground and not worry about the bomb overhead. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
All right, Stephen. Excellent stuff as always. People should be checking out everything that's going on in Major Spoilers. You got a plays. Are you playing some games on stream this Saturday? Tell people about it.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I've been doing for a couple of years now. Is we've got the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Major Spoilers. And on Saturdays I play games. Usually it's Red Dead Redemption, but sometimes we get in and we do some group games. This Saturday. That is whatever day that is, the 6th, 7th, whatever it is, Saturday.
Yeah.
3 o'clock p.m. Central Time, so adjust your clocks accordingly. We'll be doing another game stream, but this one's going to be different because I have right here a unopened copy of Animal Crossing's New Horizons for the Switch, which we will be giving away during the game stream.
A physical copy.
What a physical thing. What's that?
Man.
So physical.
This has to do with kids that are impatient and don't want to wait and trying to satisfy needs in the time of COVID and things that were already pre-ordered and supposedly on the way months before. So we have extra copies of Animal Crossing to give away.
That's awesome. What a cool prize. It's still since it launched, it's the one game I check into every day, at least sometime per day. It's a big deal.
What are your turnip prices?
My turnip prices today are 91. They're not great. So
I haven't even checked.
I'm sorry, 80. I'm sorry, 80. I paid 91. They're 80 in my store today, or the sell. So maybe, hey Brian, if you're up to the 400, 500, you let us know there.
I will. Yeah. Usually not Monday morning. It's usually everywhere across the board. It's
usually
garbage on Monday mornings.
Yeah, but Tuesday sometimes. Like
Tuesday's usually when you see the spike. Yeah, 87 bells per turnip. So
sweet. Don't buy.
Yeah,
or don't sell.
Don't sell. Don't sell.
Today's stock market lesson is don't sell. All right. Steven Schleicher, everybody. He is Major Spoilers on Twitter, majorspoilers.com. I highly recommend it. All the podcasts there are great. Steven, have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon. I'm going to watch you play this weekend.
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, man. We'll see you later.
Hydrated.
Bye now.
See how this Timmy and Tommy.
Hydrated. Oh, I see what you did.
Yeah, I said the last thing he said, but said it in a meek way.
Is it Timmy or Tommy that does the meek? I don't remember.
I don't. Tommy.
Tommy. All right.
Tommy. Yeah. Timmy's your front and center pitch man. Tommy sits behind.
Do you know that Tom has a brother
Thanks.
named Tim? Did you know that? So it's Tim and Tom. Tim and Tom. Merritt.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Merritt?
Yep. That's my second favorite brother reference right now. So it's Tim and Tom Merritt, our actual brothers.
I love it. Yeah.
And the two space guys are Bob and Doug, and that's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta love that too.
Yeah. Every once in a while they would call them Doug and Bob, and I'm like, no, back it up.
No, it's Bob and Doug. Yeah.
Get it together.
Hey, open the bay doors.
Open
we
up
gotta
the
take
airlock,
a whiz, eh?
Gotta take a piss. I gotta take a whiz, eh?
I drank too much Elsinore beer on the way up here, eh?
It's too much tang. You hoser, you drinking all the tang. I love it. All right. Okay. Let's do a quick email here from. Oh no! You know what? Let's do a mashup first. I got a mashup. Monday mashup. This is from Jamie. He's currently on vacation with his family. I hope he's having a good time up there in Canada, where no one's rioting, as far as I know.
Yes, that's a good. I was gonna say, yeah. Where is he? Where could he go get away from this? Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Where can we get a piece of that? Anyway, here is his Monday mashup. It is called. Hold on. Prison Purse. Ooh.
Great.
Don't know what this is, but here it is. Brian thought Tom Nook was Watto.
No, it's not what that says.
Yeah, it does. Oh, bought Tom. Sorry. Brian bought Tom Nook from Watto. What the heck? Where's Merlin now? You gotta come clean. Mom's in the kitchen playing Poke My Spleen or something like that.
It's impossible for me to wear something tight that isn't ill-fitting with my body shape. It's like trying to fit the contents of 1,000 Hunt snack pack puddings into a garbage bag is what I look like on a bike.
Wow.
Anyway.
All right.
Oh, okay, now what? We've seen every film ever made. My biggest complaint about this film was that it was too loud. I didn't understand any of it. I had to pee 8 times during this in my chair.
You want your water? Need some high quality H2O.
Well done. That's what I was going for right there.
That's where he was going. It was in there somewhere. I felt it coming. I don't care. I did it anyway.
Well, they're your switches, damn it. You paid
Mister,
for
I was
them.
playing with Mr. Doodle.
Yeah, that's not a euphemism or literal translation. Brian played with his doodle. Who's got the sperm? Johnson over here. He's got your sperm. Have some, everyone. Enjoy the sperm of this man.
Thank you very much. We like to tell each other how we're doing on Facebook.
Just drink a Guinness. Oh, love.
I hate it.
Love button.
Yeah.
Just chased a snake away with a flute. Oh, anger.
They did describe to me a Canadian street fight, and
slash. Sorry. Slash. Sorry. Sorry.
That would have been even better.
I hate your post. Go learn to do it differently. This is shit. Shite.
They'd say shite.
Duh.
Where's he going to put it? In his hanus?
In his prison purse?
His prison purse. What'd you bring the metal file in with there, Bill? In my prison purse.
Anybody want any chewing gum? Got some in my prison purse.
I'm a man who can get you some things, Andy Dufresne.
You may want to wash that rock hammer off before you use it, Andy.
Yeah, I would use that rock hammer right away. That post of Raquel Welch has seen
Rolled it into a tight tube and inserted it into my anus.
Came out dirty on the other side. Oh, I don't remember that conversation.
No, but damn funny.
Don't remember that. Okay, well, whew. There's your mashup. Thanks, Jamie. Big thanks. If you want to follow him on Twitter, he's at TMS Mashups. Quick email came to us through the site. No, this came to us through the email address. Sorry. That email address is themorningstream@gmail.com. You can also do it through the site at frogpants.com/TMS. This is from Mahmoud, who says this, TMS May 28th. Message. Hey, Scott. When talking about the pigeon story, you mentioned Eid al-Fitr. And obviously had no idea what it is. Yeah, he's right.
Or how to pronounce it.
Or how to say it. Yeah, and still don't. So, if I may offer more information about what it is, so if it comes up again, you'll be better informed. In Islam, there are only 2 holidays, or Eids. I guess that's the word for holidays. It's E-I.
Holy days.
What did I write? Oh, you're right. Holy days, not holidays.
Yeah.
Holidays.
We're going on holiday.
Or E-I-D-S. I still don't know how you pronounce it. Anyway,
I don't either.
He says the first is Eid for Al-Fitr, or Festival of the Breaking of the Fast. I've heard of that, but I just never heard of the term for it. It is a 3-day religious holiday celebration by Muslims worldwide that marks the end of a month-long dawn to sunset fasting of Ramadan. The second Eid is Eid al-Adha, or Festival of Sacrifice. It marks the end of Hajj. It comes 2 months after the first. I hope in the future, when it comes up, you will have a better idea of what it is and not scoff at it and say, whatever that is. Love the show, though.
Point taken.
Yeah,
Yes.
he really he got some good shade on me at the end, and I deserve it. Okay, is it Eid?
Eid is what Coach
Okay.
from Home
Eid?
is saying. How it's
All right.
pronounced.
Yeah, I don't claim to know any of that. So,
Yeah,
so thank you for the
You're educating us, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, I always like to be told when I'm saying something.
Hey,
stupid.
we also got, you and I both got a mailing from Amy Robinson.
Oh yeah, we did.
And it says, I'll read it probably the way that she intended me to read it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Shall I do that?
Go.
All right. All right.
I don't have mine with me. Dang it.
Oh.
Go ahead.
As of the beginning of this year, my family and I purchased a really cool puppet company called Peepers Puppets at peeperspuppets.com. I've included a sample of the product for you guys to try them out. Basically, you can just pop one of these little guys onto your hand and instantly have a puppet. My husband, my kids, and I are all involved in making this thing happen, and it's very exciting. I figured you guys would enjoy having a couple of pairs. Thanks and love the show, Amy Robinson.
Ah, you remember to bring yours to the table. I forgot. They're upstairs.
Well, my table is all here. Yeah, we got two versions. Oh, wow, the blue pair is a little tight.
Is it?
But yeah, so you get the blue set with the yellow eyes.
Yeah.
And then the white set with green eyes.
That's awesome.
The blue set almost feels like it's made for. There we go. I can get it.
Did you get it on?
Oh, hello. I have different eyes.
Oh.
I have different eyes and voice. I'm a different voice.
I'm a different on the same hand, though.
I'm looking at it here. Peeperspuppets.com. Oh, yeah, there's tons of these. Look at all this stuff.
Yeah. It's really cool.
That's pretty cool, Amy. Thanks for sharing those.
Oh,
with
yeah.
us.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, people listening to the podcast. You'll have to watch the video or something, but.
Yeah,
I
you'll
put one of these
watch
things on my hand and read the email.
Yeah, exactly. I'll make a GIF out of it. Don't you worry, little head.
Oh, good. Yes, I'm sure.
Peeperspuppets.com if you're interested in these. They look rad.
Really cool. Yeah.
What a fun idea. That's how we're gonna do the show from now on. That's the new TMS format. So enjoy.
Oh yeah, these things. Yeah, the stretcher, the plastic is really flexible.
Yeah, it's good.
You can get a ton of these for really cheap, for a party or something like that. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Peepers Puppets.
Yeah, Peepers Puppets.
Nice.
Not Puppers Peepers. Don't do that. Oh, somebody made a clip. Good. I got to copy this out. Hold on. Copy, link to location, put it up here, paste it. All right, later I'll be clipping out Brian making a funny puppet thing with his hand. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. Big thanks, everybody, for being here. If you'd like to support this show and get cool rewards for doing so, you can do that over at patreon.com/TMS. It is on your shoulders what makes this show possible. So please help us. We'd appreciate it. frogpants.com/TMS for everything else except for the song Brian's about to play. Brian?
For that, Paul wrote in. Paul, one of my D&D buddies, played again this last